Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
So we're here with the gang who did 366.
Yeah.
366 days of skateboarding in 2024. And I was thinking about this earlier. I'm not sure I've ever done that in my life.
You probably have.
I'm not sure I have. Like
Christmas Day, as a kid.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day sometimes are the best days though.
Yeah.
Like I definitely went in to town on Christmas Day just because you know that certain shops are shut or certain spots there won't be someone working, like security guards won't be working, and you can get away with something.
But
and it's empty.
Like with the weather, I remembered going to spots that were the only dry spots in university, for example, and just being miserable there.
Yeah.
Because you just had that little strip, and you were just like, can't be arsed. I can't remember doing that every day for weeks on end when we had weather like that for weeks on end. But anyway, digressing. So I just wanted to chat with you all just to get a bit more what you thought of it, how you found it, why you started it in the first place. So whose idea was? Did it start on the 1st of January, or did it
always? Yeah.
But you decided
every year.
You decided before that 1st of January, I'm going to do, because I know you did 100 days the year before.
5 years before.
Was it 5?
5 years in between that one. About 10 years ago, when I was in the shop full time and I wasn't skating enough, I started doing it to try and get a few more people to skate through the crud months. When you're in retail, January is actually not too bad, but February and March absolutely suck for retail, and it's just a way of getting people to come skating. People hibernate through the winter, and it's like, just want to go skating, and at the same time you're kind of promoting the shop and skateboarding in general. And it did start as a little tool to kind of get the scene kick-started into the new year, and content as well. It's like, it's two things at once, isn't it? It's kind of create content, but actually enjoying yourself, having a laugh, and just going skateboarding. But it's tracked, and for me, I had to post something every day to prove that I've done it, so no one can call you out, or no one can say, "Oh, you missed this or that," and you're like, "But I've logged it." So
people will. People will.
Yeah. But I've been doing it long enough now, so people don't. And every year I try and do it, and every year it wouldn't get better. It would just be you try it. And maybe someone's around for a bit, or someone's doing something, and maybe you do a week. Like on a really bad year, I did 8 days or something, and then I was usually 30, 35. I did a couple of years of that, and then I think Simon fancied doing it 1 year properly.
Oh yeah, I think I should probably introduce everyone as well.
Oh, yeah, let's do that now.
Ric Cartwright, owner of Exist Skate Park, Exist Skate Store. Simon Dark, skateboarder since 85, 86. Yeah, we used to skate a lot together back in the day. Mike Jones, the baby of the group. But yeah, these are the guys who just skated 366 days in 2024, so you just heard about how it kind of started. So when you came up with the idea, because I remember when you did that initial one and you had the party here for, was that the 100 days?
That was the 100th day. We pushed through till then, and it felt a big struggle to get to 100.
Yeah.
But we were encouraging each other, and Simon would come and pick me up, or I'd go and pick him up, and we'd go out, get it done. And
the hard thing about that one, which is different from this one, remember, is that each day was a different spot. We'd look for something different. Do you recall that? Which was kind of what we nearly did this time.
Did we?
Yeah. That was the goal, was to try and go and find a different skate spot.
Has Swansea got 366 spots?
No, it turns out it has.
No, 100.
Oh, the 100.
Yeah. And we did. We revisited a few spots.
We revisited a few. I don't think we
mostly
legit did different ones, but it's about 6 years ago, so I don't actually remember.
What made 2024 different, do you think?
Martin Jones.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
I was, I guess, naive to the whole thing. Brought in, I was almost dragged in unnecessarily. But,
Sometimes you need that.
I think
though,
that's
you
it,
need
yeah.
someone to just be. They've not done it before. They don't know how tough it is, and they're just going in blind. And that is in life. Sometimes it's just like you don't have the baggage that comes with it. It's like let's just get it done and do it. And
also, you'd obviously done a lot of these spots previous because I remember you saying, "Oh, let's try that one we'd done before." And I hadn't been to a lot of these spots, and I was like, excited like a little puppy, like, let's go there, let's go there. And then you guys are probably like, oh yeah, we've done that at least twice before, let's not do that. And so it's harder to get the excitement. So I think I probably had that like innocent new blood.
you can only use that excuse probably for the first 3 months.
Yeah.
It's like you know how tough it is. But at the same time, when you've got a crew. You share that, and it's kind of it does make it easier, definitely.
It changes the dynamic, and there are when the handful of ones where I joined in because I was getting back into skating again, trying to get my confidence back. The fear for me was watching you guys do the things that in my head is basic. In my head, like when we used to do tricks like this without thinking about 20 years ago. All of a sudden, when you're then joining in, like you might do, I don't know, a tail slide on a curve or something, and I'll roll up to it, and that part of my brain just goes, I don't know what to do. And the fear, I talked about this on another podcast, is the fear of slamming is infinitely higher now, even though considering you two have had some absolute practice.
But you do get past that fear, just going out every day, and like I said, like you may plan to go out for 5 minutes or less, or 2 minutes. I'll just go out and get something. And you generally find just going out, going on your board, you end up having an hour, 3 hour session. And just being on your board and skating with other people, just that fear does it dissipates. You do kind of get over it, and your confidence does.
Also, I think you build up a pain tolerance more as well. The more you do it, like when I first started back, I was really like any slight slam, but it really hurts. But then after a while, I think you start to become slightly attuned to what it feels like to hurt yourself. I mean, most people don't hurt themselves on a regular basis on a daytime thing, and I think more your nerves almost become like aware of that's what's going to happen, and
you learn to fall again.
That as well.
That's a big part of it. When we were skating in our 20s. Falling just wasn't a problem. Was it? Even if someone fell and had a fairly bad slam, most people the immediate response is laughter. If they're moving, you're laughing. Unless they go absolutely silent or an enormous scream comes out, then it's just part of it. But then I know I'm way more aware of it. And the theory, when I thought I broke my wrist here, that was it last summer or something? And I ended up going to hospital, thinking I broke my wrist, and then thinking, oh well, I can't do this anymore. I can't do that anymore. It's responsibilities that we've got. That does kind of come into it.
Definitely, the jobs you have, families, and all those kind of things.
Yeah, so I think it's less about the fear and more about the if I really hurt myself, it messes a lot of things up for other people. As well as just me.
I never think of those things.
Let's be fair, you don't. From as long as I've known you, how many bad slams have you had?
I've had a few tasty numbers, but like I don't go in. I'm not scared of it because of thinking about any of those things that you just mentioned there. I'm just scared of it. I'm not thinking about work or family or like putting a burden on anyone else.
You just don't want to.
I'm just really scared of hurting myself. And, like, just in general, I don't want to get hurt. Just the fear of
It's amazing the amount of people I've spoken to and come across in the last year or so. And when I was talking to Pritchard last, he's never had a bad injury. He's never broken anything. And it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't broken anything. He's had sprains like ankles and things like that. He's never broken anything. And when he said that, I was like, the type of skating you did, that's amazing that you didn't.
Has he had x-rays? Okay. Remember when I went
Ask
to
him
hospital? I hurt my ankle and I thought I may have broken. I was like, oh, I better go. It is hurting quite a lot. It's a bit swollen. And I went down and they said it's not broken, but how many times have you broken your ankle? And I said, I've never broken an ankle. What are you talking about? And she got the thing up and she showed me my ankle and she's like,
bits.
she said there's at least 4 breaks here.
Wow.
Some of these are like 30 years old. I was like, I do remember hurting my ankle when I was in school and thinking that's quite bad, but I just covered it up, didn't say anything because I didn't want to get in trouble. And then my x-ray, my brother works at the hospital and he said, I just saw a picture of your ankle on the screen today. It's being passed around. They're all having a good laugh at it. He's like, look at the state of this ankle. He didn't even know he'd broken it. And he did the rounds in the NHS, supposedly.
Yeah, I think
Hilarious ankle story.
I think that's because that's exactly what they said when I went about my wrist. When they asked me last time I broke it, and I said I was 17, and she frowned at me and went, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Maybe I have. I can't remember." The same thing. She just showed me all the little fragments. This bit here, that bit there. So you've broken this more than once.
Yeah.
And I think with skateboarding, you just build out. I don't know whether it's a tolerance to pain or whether the fear of not being able to skate is more powerful than the pain stopping you skating.
Yeah.
You might not go and do big tricks or anything, but you'll get back on your board ASAP. And whether it's just rolling around or doing little tricks, you don't shrug it off. You're just like, I really hurt, but I'll kind of keep doing it.
That was one of the things I did find with the having to go every day. Is there was 2 times where I rolled my ankle, and I really needed to just have a day or 2 to kind of recover, but I couldn't. I just had to get back on board.
Probably more than a day or 2.
Yeah.
Probably more like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's that like you have to go because it's part. It's only my own mind telling me I had to go. No one was forcing me, but at the same time it was that kind of challenge.
But that's what I found so like impressive about the whole thing is you had a couple of rolls, you had a couple of cracking slams. I mean, you had your ribs.
Yeah.
You had that big one in the car park where you Superman of the one that won the slam of the year.
Yeah.
You know that, and they are slams that would have put a 20-year-old you out for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You was the runner-up in Slam of the Year.
Oh,
No, it
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh, you had that tennis on the tennis court. That one when you posted that. I did watch it a few times, but I was like, ooh, is he going to get up from that?
Yeah. As I was
felt
going
that.
through the air, I was like, this is bad.
They were both good ones, those two.
Did you cry?
Probably.
Even if it was just a little,
Sucking in of air. It's like, just
just a little bit. Yeah, but that's for me is what's been most impressive. Is I don't want to say at the age we're at because I don't think any of us feel old.
No.
You know, apart from when you slam. But
I don't know, putting my socks on in the morning.
It's those heavy, nasty slams which make these little ones okay.
Yeah.
Because like I had a slam today, and it's like, oh, you know, you just kind of get up from that.
Yeah.
It's those heavy ones which kind of
Set the bar.
set the bar. Yeah.
they shake you. You're shook with it now.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can shake off when you're younger, but it's harder to shake off now. You know, I think a couple of times I might have had little ones where we went out and I just don't have to sit down for 10 minutes. I just like, do I want to do that again? And like, do I want to hit the floor like that again? I'm not sure. So that voice, I think that the voice in my head is louder than yours, just because I haven't done it enough. I haven't built up that resilience in my brain to not push myself necessarily, but try things that in my head I know I can do.
Yeah.
But I have that, and I think everyone will agree that it's the doubt that causes the potential injuries. You know, if you're going up to a trick, and just before you do it, you kind of, I'm not sure about this. That's when you slam hardest. It's because you half try it.
Yeah.
You've either got to roll up and not try it at all, and just kind of work it out, or just go and just try it, because you probably slam less by doing that.
Yeah.
I think Rowley talks about that in his 9 club, saying the same thing. It's,
Is it?
you just, you know, committing, and you commit to make it, or you commit to trying to make it, rather than kind of give it a go.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like gaps or anything like that.
I think the more I found that as I was doing it, the more you get confidence in your abilities, and that gives you that confidence when you're going up to a trick to think, I know I can do this, and so you're less doubtful when you're halfway towards that curve or whatever it is you're doing. You kind of have that in your mind that I can do this. I know my body's able to land a flip or whatever. It's the little doubts that throw you off, I find.
Yeah. How many? When you started it on the first, when you got through, say, January, did you think, yeah, I'm going to do this for a year?
No. I honestly didn't think I was
Or
going to get it.
were you expecting at some point just to go, that do?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Because I knew Rick was still going, I was just like, and Simon was like on with me most days. I was just like, it's not just me. I can't sort of feel like these guys are doing it. I need to carry on as well. So it's and maybe you thought the same way.
Did you have those days
We
when
went
you
together every day.
No.
So
if you saw Martin post something, would you kind of be like, oh, I've got to know? Or did it kind of push you to go, oh, right, Mark's done it, let's go?
no, because you don't see the posts till the evening, so you
You
wouldn't
just
see
knew
the
he was
posts.
going out
Yeah.
at some point.
I personally, it's if I can get out and go, then I go. I knew that these two had probably gone out. Even if they hadn't, you still try and go and then check later on if they had, if you don't catch up with them, you know. And if I don't know, if you saw it later on, I don't know.
Our schedules didn't really tie up most of the time, so it
No.
was quite hard. I mean, we'd always
It's only at the weekends.
weekends we'd make a point. Then sometimes during the week, if we
Some
could,
evenings and
we
stuff.
could.
Easier through the summer months. It was better, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could do some early mornings or evenings after work.
Breakfast
It's
clubs and stuff.
easier.
Yeah.
I find the mornings hard.
I'd never enjoy the morning, but you
When
do
you do
get
it,
into it, and
Yeah.
as you get through the year as well, you kind of it feels like
Yeah, the summer
a
mornings
bit
would
more
be
natural. I didn't used to. Used to be like, what is
Before
this? Yeah.
Mm.
Even before 12, I never used to skate in the morning. Like, what's this about? But you get to an age where wherever, take it whenever you're going to get it.
But that's it, because you know what,
And the skating.
because obviously there was the WhatsApp group where, like, where's everyone going, where's everyone skating today? And sometimes everyone was just passing each other.
Mm.
Oh, I've just got back,
Right.
oh, I've got half an hour here, oh, I can make this time, oh, I can't make that time. So that you were juggling that, juggling getting it done, juggling it with the family, juggling it with each other, to try and keep everyone going, keep the family happy, try not to hurt yourself. So you're juggling a lot.
Work, fan,
Work as well.
skate, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the tricky juggle.
Yeah.
But then MVP over here was going out 2-3 times a day. So he'd be on the morning skate, then I'd see him in the afternoon skating, and then a few times I didn't catch up with any of them, and I'd say, "Has anyone skated yet? I'm gonna go out now," and he'd still come and pick me up 3 times a day.
You know, at times
Mental.
in the last summer, I'd come down the park, you'd say you were down the park, and I'd pop down, and you were sweating, How long have you been here? And you'd be like, 2 or 3 hours. And then I'd leave, and they're still there. And the hardest session I had was in that summer, when it was my birthday, and I was trying to get that tray flip.
Yeah.
And we did about 2 hours. You filming me,
Yeah.
of just attempt after attempt after, my legs the next day were,
That was a fun part of the year, though. I forgot about that.
Trade by man.
yeah, that was really fun.
The first thing, because it did force us all to learn 360 flips.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about that?
What's there to talk about? I landed on one.
Trade gate.
I got saying yes.
I mean, the internet backed you up, to be fair, but
And I didn't.
that's the internet for you, isn't it?
But I didn't say I've made a tray flip. I said, here it is. What do you think? So
I called it in a video and I'm standing by it.
maybe this May is the time a proper one happens.
Yeah? Okay.
That's why I bought that massive board, so when I go back to my little lollipop stick.
Okay.
Or I land it on the 9.5 incher. That would be more impressive. I can land it because I don't think
Whatever you got to do then.
we were doing boards weren't 9 inches when we were tray flipping back in the 90s, were they?
No.
They were what, 8s, and then they went down to like 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. No, they went. Yeah.
So that'd be more impressive. There we are by this, mate.
Are you calling it?
My 9.5.
Are you putting it out there? When does this go
it's
out?
It's actually a 9.65, so if I can get it on that. Within the 169, so it's a big old boy, it's a big old lump.
That's not the only board you got, though. I'm sure you've got a small one kicking about.
I got medium and I got small.
No, that's really
I got the 7.7.
quiver.
I had a little push around on the 7.7 the other day. That feels small. That feels really small.
Did you fling it around and land on it?
No, I was just pushing about just to see what it felt like, and my toes and feet hanging off it, and I don't know.
You're going to try and do one by your birthday this year, is
Yeah.
it? You reckon?
Yeah. Well, when did I start? Yeah, I started January the 1st last year, didn't I? And I was sporadic at best.
Yeah.
I'd have times where I'd go out 2 or 3 times a week, then I'd have times where I didn't go out at all for 2 weeks.
I'd definitely let them slip out of my bag again so I get on board.
No, yeah, you've heard it here first. Everyone's dying to see the results of that, aren't they? So what was that, for each of you, was there a point that was the hard, that you look back and go, oh, I nearly quit then?
Day 70, I nearly quit.
That was very quick, like you knew exactly.
What was day 70?
Texting Simon.
What happened?
I had a stomach virus for 3 days and just like in and out of the toilet all the time. And I just was like, I had to just chuck some tablets in my mouth just to block myself up and just go out for half an hour each day. And I just felt really bad, like proper ill. And just, yeah, that was the point where I was like, I don't think I could physically get off the sofa to go out. Yeah,
that's
like when you had those, you were like rolling.
December I got to. It resorted to the in-the-house rolls with an illness.
Yeah.
But that's the hard stuff. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that really, because you could so easily just, and you've got such a good excuse for it. Like, if I go out skating, I might shit myself.
Yeah.
You know, that's a pretty good excuse for
Basically,
not
yeah. I had to take toilet roll with me. I was just like, is this a good idea? Basically.
There's that, see, but that is on you.
Yeah.
There's there's occasions then where it's not on, you could go, but it would maybe be inappropriate for you to go.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, I lucked out this year. There was no major incidents, where you kind of, like,
yeah, that you.
it's like a family member or something,
Yeah.
something happens
Yeah.
where it's like you forget about skateboarding for the time. Do you know what I mean? There's something goes out the window, but like I don't know.
That's because, like I said, that's what makes it so difficult to do, is because you don't know
It's
what's going to
life,
happen
isn't
in a
it?
year.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
No.
So the fact that you did 366 days without like pissing family members off or avoiding birthdays or weddings or whatever it is, to get a full year of that, because that's why I don't think I've ever done it, because there's always been something.
Yeah.
There's always been something in the family, with your family doing, might be a birthday, might be going away somewhere, it might, you don't know.
Holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who wants to take their skateboard to a beach
Yeah,
resort holiday?
you all fancy
With no skate spoons.
you liked it when you went, didn't you?
Yeah.
When you sent the pictures of that skate park.
I kind of booked the holiday, like that.
But did you get there and go, oh, it's a skate park?
I did, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a skate park up the road.
That looked like a good one too.
Yeah, really good. Where was that?
Saloon. Yeah, we've been there before. Yeah, it's like a new skate park. Yeah. Spain.
Your holiday looked a bit rougher, as in from a skating perspective.
It was just a dirt, dusty place with nothing really. But it was kind of. In some
Nice
ways,
holiday.
in the good side of it is it meant I had to get up at 5 in the morning before the sun was up because it was so bloody hot. And then I saw some amazing sunrises and stuff. And I know that if I hadn't have done that, I would just laid down in bed till 10 or whatever and got up with everyone else. But it was pretty nice to see all the places silent. And that's the other thing with this, is it pushed me throughout the year to do more exercise and stuff that I wouldn't normally do. You'd just be like, oh, can't be bothered, I'll just sit on the sofa. And it's just, it's kind of a nice little daily routine in a way of like getting out and doing skating.
Do you feel, because like you said, you can call skateboarding a form of exercise because you're moving and you're racing. Do you feel after a year of doing it, do you feel any different?
I do feel like, yeah, because I did
Like
notice.
energy-wise? Or?
Yeah, like just generally stretching and bending and flexing, I feel like way more comfortable. I'm still not fit by any means. Like I just feel a lot more like a standard person. Whereas I was finding when I was living in Bristol, I wasn't skating so much. I was just getting more just rigid and just like simply putting your socks on. You're like, oh god. But I find generally I feel a bit more lighter on my feet again, which is.
There's a big difference. I've noticed that since all the training that I've done in the last 15 years. Like skateboarding is very different. It's a very different type, because some of the best skaters in the world, you'd argue, are athletic. I mean, I don't know the guy, and I don't want to sound mean, but Jamie Foy doesn't look like an athletic person.
Yeah.
But you look at what he's able to do. He just looks. He can do stuff and just looks natural on the board. And there's a lot of the top skaters like that. I think the only reason a lot of the skaters now are doing more training is to give them longevity on the board, so they can keep doing it. They're not training to get better at skateboarding, because I don't think you can. I don't think you can train in the gym to get better at skating. Exactly. It's a skill. It's a skill-based activity.
Yeah.
You can do all the weight training and stuff you like, but it won't get you better at skating.
No, well, you don't need to be.
No.
You look at all the kids, and there's
nothing
a
to
lot of them there, but they're going big and doing technical stuff. And the same with the girls. As the girls are getting better, it's not.
Yeah, you obviously own the park. You see a lot of the youngsters coming through, and that's something I've noticed massively is the speed of progression of the girls skating. And you see a lot. There's still a lot of, I suppose, toxicity in skateboarding, like there is in everything. Where I think a lot of guys, someone might post a video of a girl skating and a pro skateboarder. And in the grand scheme of tricks, their tricks don't look as good as the pro guy.
No.
But that's because they've only been skating for a few years.
Yeah.
But the speed that they got to that level is infinitely higher than anything that's come previously. You just see it happening now through social media. Because the confidence is building.
Yeah.
When once younger girls see the older girls doing it, they start doing it more, and then it starts feeding down. So it'd be interesting. It's really interesting to see, like in say 5 years, how quickly, because it's the same when I was doing all the CrossFit stuff. The speed that the ladies improved their strength in relation to the men was way quicker, because they saw what was possible, and then just went, well, we just do that, and they just. And I think it's the same in skateboarding.
Yeah.
You see it.
It's like exponential curve of how much better they're getting.
Because before, when we were skating, all the people we looked up to were stuff. In the 90s, you were seeing tricks. New tricks were out every other day, and often didn't have names.
Yeah.
You just saw someone do a trick, and I think it moved so quickly there. And when you look back at it all looks quite funky because it's all really slow, really low off the floor in that sort of 90 to 92, 93 era. But then then it kind of flipped to going big, bigger tricks. And now I find when I'm watching it now online, because you're bombarded with all these tricks, you become numb almost to the level. You'll see, the first time I saw Jocelyn in the Plan B video, that's the first guy I'd seen in ages that made me go, holy shit. He raised the bar, and like other people like him, and now when you see people do it, you kind of go, oh my god, and then the next clip, oh, there's someone else doing something. So you become a bit numb to the levels, but it does make you wonder how much further it's going to go, because it doesn't seem to stop. Progression and the difficulty of tricks, the gnarliness of the tricks, the drops, the handrails. Like young kids now who, when we were their age, we just weren't big enough or strong enough to do the stuff they were doing. You've got little kids now doing 15, 20 stairs and big rails, and so at an age where you think they shouldn't be powerful enough to be able to do that. But they just are. I mean, you probably see it here in the park.
But the facilities are there.
Yeah.
The skate parks with the big handrail in it. If it's there, the kids will do it.
Yeah.
There's a vert ramp there.
Yeah.
The kids will learn to skate it. It's kind of not surprising if you put the facilities there. the level does go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, so many other towns. Because Swansea has never been like brilliant for street skating, and you could probably say that about a lot of UK towns.
Yeah.
You know, rough tarmac, shitty paving,
Yeah.
like shitty curbs.
Yeah.
You know, university was fun, but you might, someone from London might come up. You could take them to the university, and they'd be like, "The fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
What's this?" We're like, "This is amazing.
It's the Mecca.
We've got these curbs, like, we've got these curbs here, and there's like 4 stairs over there." And, you know, but like you get really good at what you've got, and then when you go somewhere else, be it Bristol or wherever, you're super excited. Because you know, when we used to go skating in Cardiff, initially we used to go to that mini ramp in was it Butte?
Yeah.
Or Grange?
Great time.
That little 8-foot wide rail. And then it was only maybe a year or two after doing that we actually started street skating in Cardiff. We went looking for spots in Cardiff, you know, and then they just opened everything up again. And you started viewing just architecture in your surroundings differently. You know, because every skater does that. You're just constantly scanning and you just go, "What's that?"
I think the development of the good videos coming out kind of made us look at spots differently. Because we were skating the curbs and then the uni, and then I think around about 91, 92 questionable came out, and then it was ledges, and I was like, "Well, wait, why are you skating curbs? We need to skate
We
ledges."
need to find some
Yeah,
ledges.
so when from the development of the new videos and the progression of the videos, I think it made us look for different things to skate. And then it's like, what ledges are in Cardiff? And well, there's ledges in Bristol. Why are we going there? Yeah.
I must bring up though your, I think YouTube, the Google Maps spot checks.
Addicted, aren't they? It's wild.
It's there was one day where I think between the two of you must have sent about 50 images into the WhatsApp group, and I must have looked at 30 of them going, "I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know what this is meant to be." And you'd be going through like potential spots, and I'm zooming in and going, "Where?" All I can see is the back of an industrial building.
Shaded.
And even when we drove there, where?
But I mean, that's an amazing way to find spots.
Yeah.
You know, it's what people used to do. And
Well, we used to just drive around through the way, the industrial zones, and now it's just, well, we can just search everywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
have you mapped it out?
Yeah.
I mean, have you got like a thing where a little square? I've checked here. I've checked here.
Oh,
No, I haven't got
No.
that. No.
There's no point in that, is there? There's no deal.
But you know what? You know when you looked at it.
Check
the back of the
places
same
that
bit.
that you.
'Cause
No,
right,
you
yeah.
you list the one that's there. Just
Yeah.
go, that's there. Cool.
Yeah.
But there must be so many spots. There's probably still spots in Swansea that we've never
Absolutely.
seen.
Bound to be because we found so many.
Yeah.
That we haven't ever skated before in
With Swansea being such a
40 years.
Yeah.
because did you know Llansamned was the UK's first out of town industrial retail?
No,
It was the first one in the UK. I learned that in college.
didn't know that.
But it's got like Swansea's got big. It's got Llansamned. It's got Cundee. It's got there's loads of these around Swansea because Swansea town centre is actually quite small, isn't it? But Swansea as a city's big because of all the areas outside of the town centre. So there must be spots.
You'd think,
Well,
wouldn't you?
yeah.
Some of it is just bland.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Nothing
very
else.
bad. But there must be places where you can't get into them. You can't get over or under.
Yes,
Because
yeah,
that was
yeah.
the one you went to, and the guy,
Is it by macros? Is that one?
the one where he said there's dogs in it.
Yeah, macro one.
That was a good spot.
That was a good spot.
When he said to you, because he said it quite calmly, like, "Boys, there's dogs in here." That could have ended badly.
Yeah, but it's so massive.
Yeah.
We were skating in there. He didn't know we were skating there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that place is huge, and I only knew it was there because we'd been to view it for a potential takeover skate park in there, and I'd kind of gone around the back and seen those.
That was the old
really
macro
nice-
one in Llansamned.
The old Virgin Media.
Yeah, it's
building.
next to macro.
So I knew it was in there, and I didn't know there was dogs running free, and there was a guy. We saw a guy in the car park, but that car park is so vast.
Yeah.
Like He could stand at the other end.
And he didn't sound like he cared particularly.
No.
No, he did shoo us out. I think he's more worried for our safety because the dogs are just free roaming in the said, so didn't see any.
No.
But that think of places in other cities you skated in. Like when we used to go to Dublin, you know, quite a lot. And the spots over there, when you got there, you were just like, I can't believe they've got this. You know, there was the ledges in was it Bagot Street? And there was that, I think it was at university, it was just like the perfect man he had that was about ledge height, that just served no purpose to anybody, but was just in the middle of this university. And you turn up at these things and just go, I don't understand why haven't we got anything like this? You know, and so many cities have got spots like that serve no purpose whatsoever, but they just got them.
Kind of argue that from when I remember, whereas they were building Castle Gardens, we had a conversation. We were down in Gower. There was an event on, and you know,
Oh yeah.
have you seen what they built in the centre of town? And it's this perfect plaza, you know. So for a while, that was, you know, that kind of perfect spot.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was. We always referred to that as our own EMB, didn't we? Because EMB was the mecca of was ground zero of the skateboarding, and we now had ledges.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like we said about Swansea, there's hardly any smooth surfaces anywhere.
Yeah.
Town's better now than it was, because we used to skate in town, you know, when all the shops were shut, and you'd have town to yourself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see anybody. You know, and like, that was nice, because even though there weren't any amazing spots, you could just skate around it any way you wanted.
Yeah.
A curb or a car park or whatever it was, knowing that you're not getting any hassle, no one's going to give you any, no cars, no traffic, no people, and even in Tesco's. Remember the bump in Tesco's, the hips?
Yeah.
You know, you'd think, you can't imagine shops being closed on Sunday now.
Yeah.
That was kind of.
Can you remember going back to the university to skate proper after Castle Gardens had opened up? Because I think it was the university, that was the place we'd go.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Castle Gardens opened up, the weekends, it was just, you kind of migrated everyone.
Yeah. I think at that stage as well, we were starting to try, because you were driving, Bevan was driving, Johnny was driving, so we'd meet at university.
Yeah.
And then go somewhere.
Yeah.
That then became, rather than the place where we skated all day, it's this place you met.
Yeah.
Because you knew everyone would be there.
Mhm.
And then you'd go off
Yeah.
to other spots. Yeah, then Castle Gardens just became the place. And I think then, with Castle Gardens, I think that's when everyone properly discovered boozing.
Yeah.
Because you had the clubs where you'd go skating in the day, and then you'd take your boards with you to Barron's, which was a nightclub, or the office or whatever, and put them behind hide them in the bushes.
Yeah.
And then pick them up on the way back. Because I think Steve, was it Bevan and Skin, they got that story when Skin brought the Zero, went to the Dash and Dolly, and all them over, and took him to Barron's that night.
And that's where a lot of people, like, they met. We met through Castle Gardens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my first skateboard. 1993, was it made in 93 then, was it? 93, 94?
Yeah. Before I went to college. It wasn't even college.
That's when I started skating. So,
Might be 92.
was it earlier than that?
Might be. I did my ankle 96. Oh no, it might have been actually 93, 94. Because I don't think I was in college.
Yeah, it was later than 92.
Yeah, it might be 94.
Yeah.
But there's some, some good footage of some good skaters coming down there.
Yeah.
You know, there's that Danny Wainwright doing that monster tray flip.
Yeah, tray flip, Danny Wainwright.
Thing. And like Evan said, I went back and watched the Over Plywood documentary, and he mentioned about the flip team being here, like Tom Penny.
It's a rumour.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure.
Heard the rumour of Tom Penny going down, being shown around the university.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it's just a rumour. I don't think so.
He'd just smoke some weed anyway, wouldn't he? He wouldn't skate too much. So I'll do.
It would only have been if Skin had been doing something and going to see his mum and taking some boys with him on his way somewhere
For the day or whatever.
But it could have happened.
Yeah.
I haven't actually asked him about that. It wouldn't have happened without him.
No. Oh God, no, they wouldn't have just turned up. I find to go to Swansea for an ice cream.
Stayed on the train.
So like just him kind of having his mum in Swansea, you would kind of, that's why
Yeah.
come home, see her, bring some boys and kind of party or whatever for the day, and then they'd be off going somewhere good.
I think skating the NCP with Mike Carroll and Ric Cartwright. And Colin McCain, anyway.
But wasn't that a classic Swansea thing?
Yeah.
That was different though. They were down for a ramp.
Yeah.
As an event
Yeah.
at a world class ramp that they built.
But even then, like they brought, because it was the street, apart from Danny Way and Colin McCain, it was the street team.
Sure, yeah.
They came down to the biggest vert ramp in the country,
Yeah.
and we built that bank
Yeah.
just for them. Like we were there for 2 days beforehand in the pissing down rain, building this bank.
I didn't know about
We
that.
put like a 12-foot wide bank with a curb on top of it, because we were like, we can't bring them here and have nothing to skate.
Yeah.
Because all you had was the mini ramp,
Yeah.
more for vert ramp, and that long rail.
Yeah.
Just a.
Who paid for that? Did you all
City
chip
Surf.
in, or did
Did City Surf pay or did we pay? No, I think we paid for it. City Surf were going to pay us back.
Oh, okay.
But the more for people didn't know we were doing it.
Mm.
So they turned up one day and were building it. They came over and like, what are you doing, boys? So building a ramp for the girl team who are coming tomorrow. And they're like, what are you talking about? Get out.
Did you get to build it?
Yeah, we finished it.
Yeah.
I just remember it was hammering down the rain.
Yeah.
And we were pissed off because the weather was so shit and we had to build a ramp. We were almost a little bit slightly embarrassed. Like the girl team were going to turn up and they're just going to skate this bank because they're not going to skate the vert ramp. And the weather was shit.
Mm.
And the weather was shocking the next day. And we ended up taking them to the NCP club.
Plan meeting.
Plan meeting. Ended up taking them to
Can
the.
edit that?
So it was a long time ago. Can you remember?
Yeah.
They had City Surf had the Terminator 2 board,
Yeah.
the one with the graphics scratched up and it's
Yeah.
and all of them signed it.
Yeah.
And I never know what happened to that board because nobody bought it.
Talk about it.
Because it was up on the
turned
wall.
up in the shop.
Yeah.
The whole time I worked there.
Yeah. But no one, I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah. Probably got stored somewhere. Someone will have it.
It's either that or someone's binned it when they shut down. I hope not.
Do you know, it did all get cleared out.
Shame, right? But I just remember getting to the NCP car park.
Well, they followed me in the car.
Yeah, we were like, oh, come on,
Yeah, let's
go
go.
to the car
Go
park.
car.
You know, and it was Carol, Howard, Tony Ferguson, Colin McCain, Danny Way.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was it. Just a little, and then everyone else followed us on the day. So the car park was just full of people. And I remember them getting out and not looking particularly chuffed with it because it's miserable, isn't it?
Let's get in the pub.
Yeah, and it, only part of the car park was dry, most of it was wet. Yeah. Then I remember we were going to go out that night to Mumbles, so I kind of met them, I'll go to this bar, and we'll meet you there. So it was, sitting there and Danny Way and everyone's sitting there and we're kind of like, oh shit, it's Danny Way. And all they did was cop off a load of girls. And we just kind of sitting there just like, I want to go and hang out with Danny Way and Rick Cartwright with the girls over there, it's not fair. And then they stitched a load of people up with t-shirts, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like fake t-shirts. That's happened twice because that happened with the Pal demo as well, didn't it?
Mm.
When they nearly had the van trashed.
The van.
That was insane, that was bonkers. So
We've digressed.
yes, a little bit.
Um,
So into this year, what's changed?
For me, it's the not having to go. It's like times where you just don't feel like it, or it's raining, and you just think, not up to it. You just don't have to go. It's quite.
There must have been days other than when you were ill where you were just like,
Yeah,
I can't be bothered.
yeah, definitely. It's definitely days where you're not feeling it. or
In the
you-
winter as well, because the winters here are pretty
Yeah,
miserable.
If you start in the winter,
true.
Yeah.
it was fairly mild, because that stopped me in the past. Like, I think maybe the year before, or the year before that, I can't remember which one, but that was the 11 day or whatever it was, where it just rained constantly. And I found myself pushing around the streets in the rain. It's like, what am I doing? I'm over this.
You
And
post,
you don't go out the next day because you know you're just gonna. It's like, this isn't fun.
You
Supposed to
posted,
be enjoying this.
you posted a few videos a few times, and I was watching it, and I was like, he's really not happy about this.
This year, the big year?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you.
I like those ones out.
No, when I look outside and just go, oh, they can't get a session in today. It's like the storm and the wind and the rain, and you just like, I don't even want to step outside.
Yeah, there was
And
one
then a
day
video would pop up, and I'm like, fair play to him.
with the storm. I remember going down to the Amazon building. No, not the Amazon building. The Bay Studios. Because there's an undercover bit, and I sort of walked up towards it, and the whole thing was just rattling and shaking. I was like, "Yeah, this is lethal, and potentially might be in the news." So I just went back to somewhere safer. Yeah.
So is just having the pressure of not having to do it, or feeling you have to do it, is it making you enjoy it more when you do?
Yeah, it's mixed things for me because I did like the sort of camaraderie of it all, of like each of us all coming together and like being sort of comedy miserable and like, oh, here we go, da.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's nice to not have to do it when there's times where you're so stressed out or like stuff, things like you were saying earlier, just gets on top of you and you can't almost fit it in that day.
Mm.
So that's definitely a plus, but yeah, it's a double-edged sword, I suppose.
Do you think it's helped? Because I know you probably went through a phase when you were running the park and running the shop, when you just wanted a break from skateboarding, just being around it all day. You know, and if you went and go skating, it's a busman's holiday.
Yeah.
So, like having a day job now, that must have helped that to give you that bit of space away from it. So has that kind of allowed you then to enjoy skateboarding when you do go more?
I think so. Yeah, definitely fell back in love with it. And I think, yeah, stepping away from the shop and having time off from the park as well. You know, because they've staffed it pretty much fully now. I don't do evenings in here. I get roped in to teach if we're short-staffed or if there's a special event on. But having that time away from it helps you enjoy it. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just industry, skateboarding, and you're still back in the street, and it is a lot. It does put a bit of a dampener on it.
Did you think, knowing, having run the shop for so long and knowing how, I suppose, the industry works, did that change any of your enjoyment of skateboarding as an activity?
Yeah.
Or could you separate the industry from the activity?
You can once you do it. Once you get out and you just go and skate in, it's fine. But there's, like chatting to people about it all. There's so much politics and stuff going on that's
it's a funny
behind the scenes that no one else knows about.
But skateboarding is such a funny industry, isn't it? Because I think when Rocco came in and did the whole, everything splintered. It was super exciting because new companies were popping up left, right, and centre. The graphics were amazing. Oh, they've moved to them and they moved to them. But then there's never seemed to be a coherent. And I know people will argue, well, that's not what skateboarding is about. You just go skateboarding, but you still need an industry
It's
for that
changed,
to happen.
isn't it?
Well, it's massively
It's changed.
Yeah,
It's kind of new levels, isn't it? It's hitting new audiences. And
But do you think, like, I know because the Olympics splits people down the middle, and you would certainly argue that the Olympics has led to more facilities being built.
yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, some of I've seen a few new parks pop up, and I think there are a lot of parks going up now that they're just not very well thought out. It's just either the council is speaking to the builders of parks, Maverick, whatever, they decide what to build, rather than a conversation with the skateboarders that this is what we want. And so many parks now are built to please everybody, to please the scooter kids, like families, and it's really difficult to do that in one park.
Yeah.
You've got to separate it. You've got to have, like the one in is it Oxy Heath or Oxy Park near Luton,
Oh yeah.
where it's all connected, but they're all separate. You've got Street Plaza that's on its own, and then a little lane that goes through to a bowl that's on its own, and a little lane that goes through to a beginner's bit, a little lane that goes through to a pump track. So the scooters and the BMXs and stuff will be there, and then the street skate will be there. I think for really well thought out parks, that's what you need, is to have that separation. Otherwise, it's like, when we used to skate Bedminster.
Yeah.
I was talking to Pritchard about this, remember the shouting the old bowl 1 to bowl 2? You learn that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you don't learn that quickly, you just someone will smash into you. But that etiquette, because we skated there and there might have been maybe 20 people in the park altogether.
Yeah.
Like you go down Mumbles on a summer's day, what's there, 50 people? And families, and kids on scooters, kids on roller skates, which is, that's kind of what it's for. But it's getting a balance, isn't it? The balance is really difficult.
Yeah.
Because the councils want to please everybody. Skaters need a certain type of thing. The scooters are going to be there no matter what.
Even the skaters though want different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You get different types, and there's so many little niches in it that it causes arguments, doesn't it? And when they're building parks, all these discussions they're having, everyone chucks their 2 pence in.
Yeah.
And you don't always get the best results out.
No, I mean, you could probably say, well, I know there's so many parks in the UK now. Like, how many parks can you think of that you'd be like, I really want to go there? I really want to go and skate there. There are some.
Yeah, there's some for sure. Yeah.
But it used to, like 20 years ago, you didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I remember going to Holywell Bay, and Holywell Bay was literally just a big snake run, which is being blown away by it. Just like, oh my god, it's Holywell Bay, and you didn't do any tricks there really, it was just carve around to a big bowl at the end, and a few other places, but it's like, because you had no frame of reference what a good skate park was.
Yeah. Well, we would go to Harrow.
Harrow's
like.
Harrow's fun.
Yeah.
Harrow's fun.
It's a long way to go for
a
little...
Because that's a small
park.
Small park, it's all squished in together.
One concrete head.
Yeah.
We can just go and skate that. It's a long way to go.
Because we still have the bank connect with the jump ramp into the bank. I used to skate that all the time.
I just don't like skate parks.
I was going to say that's the one thing that the skate every day thing has made me remember how much I prefer street skating and skate parks.
Yeah.
I just find that it's a totally different thing.
Which kind of goes back to the mapping out the skate spots.
Yeah.
It's looking for street spots rather than going to the skate park.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get at the skate park. You know what
It feels a little bit like you've got the stabilisers on. It's just a little bit, everything's safe and sort of made for
I'm good
it.
with that. I'm good with safe.
And
I like safe.
it depends what day and mood you're in. Like obviously, but there's certain days I just have that feeling when you go street skating. It's so much more exciting. And
I think it's a combination of being exciting and also being, I'm going to go to this spot and I'm going to be a person there.
yeah, and you can make something out of nothing. I mean, the ones you said you didn't even know what you're looking at. To me, I was like, oh, there might be one that I really love, and then there might be one that Simon loves, and it's just everyone has their own style of skating, and that's the kind of creative side of it where you can really make a turn into something decent. And I don't know,
Or finding a spot which just looks crazy good.
Yeah. Is that
Have
exciting?
you found any yet?
Well, there was an almost.
They're all almost.
There's quite a few almost.
Yeah.
That bank in, was it Leslie, and that school you skated?
Oh
You
yeah.
had to ollie onto it and go up like that. And you were
Yeah.
like, that's still fun, but you're just like, oh, if that just didn't have that curve,
A bit steeper.
that would be a bit steeper. Yeah. It's just little, but there's a lot. I mean, that's probably most skate spots in the UK.
Yeah.
They could always be better.
It's not just that. You go to the skate park, it's the same. It's the same views. Like, I kind of want to be stimulated visually.
And sounds as well.
So when you
sound.
Well, have you seen, I'm probably going to chat to him on the podcast, Paul O'Connor, he came, I think I introduced him to you.
Yeah,
he came in here.
Yeah.
Because he's just done a research study on sounds in skateboarding and about how skateboarders, I haven't read the whole thing yet, how they see both the negatives and the positives in the sound of skateboarding. If you hear a skateboard, you know straight away that's what it is. You're drawn to it. But then within the study, because he talked to a lot of people and got their feedback, saying that skateboarders are also very aware that if they're in a certain spot that they could get kicked out of, they're aware of the noise. Not that they'll try and be quiet necessarily, but they just know, right, as soon as we start making noise here, we've probably got 20 minutes. So they're like very aware of the sound of skateboarding is a visceral part of it. You know what a smooth surface sounds like. You know what a rough surface sounds like. You know what a grind. You can almost name a street trick on on a curb or a ledge, you can almost name it by the sound it makes. 50-50
Ooh,
compared to a
that's
straight
a
compared
big
to a
quiz.
curb.
So that you bet.
Yeah.
I just personally, I like architecture. I like
Mm.
seeing new things and go hunting that spot down and finding weird places. I enjoy.
Yeah.
I
It
enjoy that.
seems
And if
like-
there's a spot at the end of that, then that's the pot of gold as
Well,
well.
it seems
isn't
that you, because the times I've been out with you, it just seems the three of you have never lost that. Either never lost it or you've rediscovered it. Because I think when I was going out more with you guys, part of me was like, if we go here, we guaranteed to get a good hour skating.
Yeah.
If we go out looking for stuff, we might not skate for more than 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes that's the.
But that's the balance,
That's, you know.
You guys have seen the positives in that, thinking what could we find?
Yeah.
Then
Oh, I
I
could
was
definitely
thinking,
find negatives in it as well.
Yeah.
Like definitely.
but I'd straight away be like, oh, this isn't going to be great. The place is going to be rubbish. But then you remember the amount of shit, terrible skate sessions you had when you were younger, but you still had a laugh doing it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about the spot itself.
The kind of whole process.
It's the process of it and like, what can you make out of this? Oh, we're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's grab that bit of wood.
I think it's remembering that when you do find that good one, is the next one going to be the good one as well?
Yeah.
You know, or when you have an amazing session, is the next spot you find going to be another amazing session?
What you're talking about here is addiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always chasing the next
Chasing,
one.
yeah.
Chasing the next one. But I mean, that's the way it was when you were younger, wasn't it? You had your spots where you knew.
Mm.
Let's go
Yeah.
and skate these steps. Let's go and skate that rail. Let's go and skate that curve because I know it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But what if?
Mm.
What if a mile down the road there's something else?
The thing I do find is with parks as a benefit now is that as I've gotten older, that people aren't available to skate as much. So I feel that skate park is a good meeting point or a place where you can go and know there's going to be other skaters there.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing I do like about the Mumbles Park, especially. It's just it's a place I can pretty much guarantee you there's someone.
You know
there.
someone's going
And it
to
can be quick, you can be skating in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and
so
warm
it's
up,
kind
and
of
you can
a safe bet.
If you've got a short amount of time, you can get your 2 hours in.
And it's quite a nice place to be in the summer.
Yeah,
as the
it
sun's
is.
going down.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to be.
Mm.
Or even at the end of the session, let's pop there for half an hour. Just to chill, just to see everyone and chill. Because I mean, that's what's going to be really nice about the new mini plaza in Vicky Park.
Yeah.
Is it will actually be a fun place to skate.
Yeah.
And because it's so reasonably central, then it's going to be easy to go off to other places
Yeah,
from that place. That's going to be fun. And when you know you do the refit of this place.
It's winter, isn't it? You need an indoor
Mm.
place. It's wet and cold
I mean,
and
that's-
dark.
I mean, that's something that we haven't kind of brought up is, you know, generally, if this park never existed, like skateboarding in Swansea would be very different.
Yeah.
It would be very
Yeah,
different.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be, no, definitely. There wouldn't be half as many, like all the younger kids who come here, you know, there's probably a large percentage of them that wouldn't, maybe never have started skating in the first place.
Yeah, true.
You know, 100%. You know, if we
I
had
hadn't
an
really
indoor
thought
place-
about it like that.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
suppose having the momentum behind it to push the outdoor parks through, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's no mean feat, like keeping the place open for 13 years.
Yeah, 14 this year. And we just signed another 15-year lease now, so.
Because I remember when you say in the early days of thinking of opening a skate park, like your immediate thing is, sure. You sure that's what you want to do?
Well, you kind of do the numbers and you go, yeah, you can do that, not realising those numbers are nowhere near what numbers you're actually going to get. So
Yeah.
you've got to change how you do it. But I wonder, I haven't actually looked at those numbers, revisited it, and seen what you've got it, built it up to.
Well,
Because it's definitely changed, but yeah, it'd be interesting.
Think of when you first opened and all the people who joined.
Are we back?
Yeah.
We are back. Part 2.
By the way,
Where did we? I should
oh,
have
Basil, yeah,
grabbed my snacks. Been thinking about it the whole time.
yeah, you've got to think of the pub, not only for newer skaters, but for older skaters as well.
Yeah.
They're a place to come.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of the older skaters aren't going to go and skate at university. They're
Yeah.
not going to.
No.
You know, like you guys love doing it, but part of me is like, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. You know, probably because I had that fairly long hiatus from skating itself, and I suppose you kind of lose that excitement. And it took me a while to get it back. When I got really excited about starting skating again more consistently, came out with you guys, and I had quite a few times where I just felt so shit. Like, I can't do this. Like, why can't I do this? I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
And then you kept saying to me, like, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. You
Yeah.
just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And it probably took, I reckon, 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
For me to actually, and I suppose it's all about my ego, thinking, well, if I can't be good at it anymore, what's the point?
Yeah, and there's a few people like that, isn't it? And they just won't do it because they can never be at that level that they got to as youngsters. And they're like, if I can't do it that well, then I'm not going to do it at all. Whereas I don't care about that.
No, well, I don't anymore. I did for a long time.
I've got over that, and I still enjoy doing the stuff that I can do, and I'm still improving. And, you know, it's still a way to go. But I've kept a small bag and learned some new bits and pieces as well. But they do still enjoy it, so that's the difference, I guess. Maybe.
I suppose if you don't enjoy it, then stop.
Yeah.
You look at the amount of pro skaters who you still look at as, you know, like we were talking about Brandon Biebel earlier, when someone posted a photo of him, and I was like, what's going on there? You know, and it's, you know, he's a full-on bodybuilder now.
Yeah.
And a few people have posted on this thing about skateboarding, and he's just, you know, replying with, dude, it's 2025. You know, I'm just not that person anymore. And I think, and I got a certain amount of respect for someone who completely, they still got good memories of what they did when they did it, but they're just like, I'm just not that person anymore. Rather than trying to hang on to being the person they used to be, and just trying to drive that forward.
Yeah, I think you're right. You think if you love it, you keep going. Yeah.
Rather than forcing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it's all personal choice. And if by forcing someone to skateboard or be a skateboarder makes them a better person, you know, if they weren't skateboarding, they might be a dick because they didn't have that thing. You know, it's difficult. It's not like, because it's not like a sport. It's not like football. It's not like anything like that. You know, I've done a lot of sports and activities, but none of them were like skating. Not even close. You can't imagine somebody who likes kicking a football around. You know, they'll go to a pitch or they'll kick the ball against the wall. But when you're skateboarding, you're like, I can go anywhere with this, and I don't know what I'm going to find. You might go. Let's go to Oxford, for example. We've never been to Oxford. Let's go and see what it's like skating there. And you've got no idea what it's going to be like. You know nothing about the town. You don't know what's going to happen. With another sport, you know exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly how you're going to play it. We need to score a goal or a try or a run or whatever it is. There's a specific goal for the game. But skateboarding isn't. It's so difficult, and that's why I said to you earlier when I was talking about wrecking ball is the amount of gatekeepers in skateboarding. But then I'm also like, it's okay, because if they weren't gatekeeping that, they'd be gatekeeping something else, and it's so important to them that they feel they need to be that person. It's ridiculous to a point that you're gatekeeping something that anybody can do anywhere at any time. Who cares what shoes you wear? Who cares what trousers you wear? Who cares what t-shirt you got on or wheels you use? Like Andy Anderson gets a lot of shit. You know, and Robbie Mullin, you know, he posts something quite philosophical now and again, and a lot of the comments are just like, "Oh, I'm so over this shit," and it's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have all these tricks. And he's a really interesting guy. If you don't like what he does, then follow him. Simple. But you don't have to engage in this kind of, this isn't what skateboarding is. No, it's not what skateboarding is to you. But what it is to somebody else is none of your business. But I think that's what makes it interesting, is it's full of those characters. And they pop up now and again, and like, Jesus, who's this guy? Or who's this guy? What the hell is he talking about? I kind of want to listen because he's nuts. You know, that's what it's. But that's what it attracts, isn't it?
Yeah. that's the online side of it, though.
Yeah.
And I don't really pay attention to that side of it anymore. So not really being so involved with the shop and stuff. And I think that's why I'm enjoying it more, is because I don't have to listen to any of the bollocks. I can just go out, do my mediocre tricks, enjoy them for how they feel, you know, and you get that raw skateboard feel back.
Yeah.
And probably the only thing that's changed is that you're older than the security guards.
I do find that they're nice to you now.
They understand you're an adult, and you may know what you're talking about, but they can have a chat with you. You can kind of have dialogue with them. And they can kind of understand what you're doing. And they get it a little bit more. And skateboarding's been around that much time now that they kind of they know they can probably name 2 or 3 skateboarders, or if they've grown up with it, maybe not as part of their thing, but it's been on this, like on the radar, isn't it? So it is. You don't understand it, but it's more understandable.
It's not that they respect it, it's just they're aware that it's not just something the kids do. That's the only difference.
It's kind of part of the test of time, isn't it? You know?
It does make you wonder, because what's going to happen in the next 5 years, or the next 10 years, industry-wise? Because it's all over the shop at the minute.
Let's not talk industry.
No, but it's just, but you know, it goes in cycles. Things implode, it collapses, and then it changes, rebuilds into something else. You know, for whatever it is. But I think because of the nature of online social media and the fact that you can see amazing skating anytime you pick up your phone.
That's the overstimulation of it.
Exactly.
Overexposure.
It's difficult to be. I mean, I never want to sound like I'm talking about our days were better, but everyone's golden age is their best. Whether that's 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, everyone's got a favourite era, and it's usually when they were at a certain age, and nothing else mattered. So we're obviously 90s, like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Although the kids aren't saying that, though, are they? But they're the kids now, I suppose.
They ingest skateboarding in a different way. They you know. I can't even explain how and why, because I don't get it. You know, I still have the head of a 19-year-old me, and that's how I view skateboarding. They view it in a completely different way.
I wonder, though, whether they'll look back at this time, the time that we're talking about now in the 90s for our generation, is when you were your late teens to 20s, when you were coming of age and physically around, you know, capable, and technology wasn't where it is now. And I wonder if they'll look back at the same time and kind of see that they're actually hemmed in, and like they kind of actually sucks for them.
Do you think because it's so accessible now? That
Go on.
Their connection to a specific era isn't as visceral as ours was, because we still had those memories of everything was a struggle. Not a struggle, that's not the right word. But you know, it was, we're going to go and skate the shit car park again. But you went, because you just watched a video and you got you hyped up. Whereas now they're like, I could go to Exist, I could go to Mumbles Park, or we could go to Haverford West, or we could go to Barry, or we could go, you've got all these places you could go. So you're... Is it...
Also, though, you did it off your own back. Now, parents are taking them there. And they're hanging out with them at parties.
That's true.
I don't know whether it's good or bad, but it's different to how it was. I was just sent out.
I did it once.
You know.
My uncle used to live in Uxbridge, and we were visiting, and I told my dad he'd taken me to Harrow for the first time. First time ever skating Harrow, and he just stood there at the fence just waiting for me. And I remember skating going, I can't skate this. It's weird.
It puts a lot of pressure on, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's like,
he's not there going to do a trick. He's just waiting.
Are you done? Can we go?
Didn't go and sit in the car, just stood there.
See, that's not skateboarding, is it? No. It's like, chop, you got an hour. It's like
going to a fitness.
Get it done and we'll go. It's like, it's not a football match. It's not. It's like something might happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully some dudes I've not seen will come and kind of join in and like I'll be able to have a speak with them, learn some things, hang out, chat. It's a social thing more than anything. Especially at parks.
Yeah. Is it the equivalent of taking your kid to karate? Is it the same thing?
Almost. Almost.
Because you have got a time, we're here at this time and we're leaving at this time.
This park is definitely that. The parents bring them to the session.
You should have
2 hours.
You need to sell a uniform and belts.
Start giving them certificates, which I love, and I find it hilarious because it's like this is nothing about that, but the kids love a certificate, and it's like I can put this on the wall. You know, it's like my first drop in.
That means a lot.
I used to tell kids when I just had the shop, I'd like, and they tell me about like they just learn to drop in and around. It's like write it down in a diary, whatever you've got, write it down this date because it's important. You know, and now we do a certificate, and you can do any trick, but like I've got like there's 3. There's like an open one.
Fucking hell, man.
There's
cut it out.
Should I wait? Should I go grab a snack?
Because I had something I wanted to bring up then.
Is it going to take a while? Will you grab me one of those kind chocolate bars, the nut bar?
Everyone left. No, they didn't leave. Nobody left.
Dish them out. I feel like we've been
20 people.
Why does it say it's kicking us out?
Don't know. That's going to be a bit of continuity there. Yeah, blinds.
Part 3.
What are you saying about that? Yeah, imagine.
Oh, don't go yet.
No, listen. Imagine you had a certificate that said, this is the day you made your first 360 flip, or this is the day you made your first. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd still have
That's what I thought.
I'd still have it on the wall now.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I don't know.
I'm going to do you one. Me.
What are you going to be waiting on?
You said it. Me, said. May last bloody year.
That is something that, like, you kind of, as a kid, you're like, ugh. When you got older, if you imagine you had a certificate that said, first kick flip, first drop in, first shove it, first 360 flip, and because you could see your progression over a time frame.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my first kick flip and I tray flip 3 months later. That's amazing.
I've never thought of it, but some kids will have that.
Yeah.
We date them, sign them, and write the trick on, and some kids are actually going to have it laid out.
Yeah.
Their progression.
And they will. They'll be in their attic in their 30s, and honestly, or 40s or 50s, and find it and just go, holy shit. I would.
Mm.
You know, it seems very kind of silly and petty and pointless, but because we have so few memories, you can't remember everything you did over the last 30, 40 years.
Mm.
Like, so if I said to you, when did you land your first 360 flip? You'd probably give a year.
Mm.
Oh, I reckon it was 92 or 93 or something. You have no idea when it was.
Yeah.
You know, were you on your own? Were you with other people? Did anyone else see it? All that stuff comes in. But that certificate stamps it. It tells you that's when it happened.
Cumdee was open. How was that? Now is it down to 4 years?
Yeah.
When did that close?
97 to 2002.
Yeah.
2002.
But he said I got the date wrong because I wrote on the wall when he said he was closing, and I put 1997 to 2002, and he told me I got one of the years wrong. So
I think 97 it opened 97.
I thought it opened 97. I wrote 97. I wrote 97 on the wall. It's in an edit somewhere. Tidy
It must be 97.
did an edit.
Yeah. Thought it was
And,
97.
Because it was after, like I said, my uncle was 96.
I remember
and it was a
Colin
year
saying-
after that.
You got the date wrong. Like, how can I have got the date wrong?
No, I think he's got it wrong. I think Big Len's got it. I think Big Len's got it wrong there.
I don't know.
Funny
Or
enough,
maybe I wrote 98 and it was 97.
might have been. Funny, I started following.
I can't remember, but I wrote the wrong date anyway, so.
I started following Jason Lunn recently.
Why is
Do you
his name
remember him?
come up again?
He was a vert skater from the 90s, British guy.
I think he popped up online again, skating, didn't
Yes, yeah. He was really good as well.
he? He was
He
good,
was very
but
good.
the only reason I know his name is because the boys say, "Oh, he's Lund me." Do you know what that means?
No.
And they say like it's a thing. You've been Lund, and it's when you're trying a trick and someone
Right.
comes and does that trick right in front
Oh,
of you.
Right, right.
When you've been trying it for ages and then they just come and do it. And he used to do it a lot, supposedly. That's the only reason I know him, but his name has lived on through Swansea, at least.
Well, he
As
came,
someone, oh, you've just been lucky.
he came to one of the comps in Dundee.
Oh, did he?
Yes, because we were outside. I think after the comp or whenever, it was in the summer, and we were sitting outside. And I hadn't clocked who he was. We were just, a few of us were just sitting talking. And he was just very kind of enigmatic and talk. He had this company called Chilled Heat. Remember that?
Did he do that?
Yeah, C with a H.
Who did you do it with?
Can't remember.
It wasn't just him,
No, it was other people.
because it was someone else as well.
But he was explaining to me what it meant.
Right in.
What chilled heat meant. And he was referring to Bevan, because like Bevan was saying, the thing is, you see, Bevan's chilled heat, because he's really calm and chilled and everything, and then he brings a trick, and that's the heat, and he was explaining all this, and I was thinking, this guy's a bit wacky, but I'm listening. I quite like it. I quite like it. And then chatting to him, and then I was going to do some designs for him, and then it never happened. But then I came across him, I can't remember, I just thought of it. No, someone posted, I think, Rad Archive. One of the
I saw
photos.
him recently.
I recognise a photo. I said, that's Jason Mann. I wonder if he's on Instagram. He lives in Bali now. He still skates. He's had 2 knee replacements and like 3 other Bali things. But a really good skater, a good skater.
Yeah.
You know, skating really well. So it's just, but the amount of people who did end up coming through Swansea for whatever reason, you know, you forget sometimes. But I didn't realise it was Jason Lunn until afterwards. But I think somebody mentioned afterwards, said, oh, it's Jason Lunn. I was like, that's who it was. I thought I recognised him. But yeah, that was quite fun. I didn't realise that it was
Have you not
People
talked to
do
any
that.
of the lads about him?
all the older heads.
All the Swansea, the
They hate
SWB,
everyone.
Swansea Dirt Pigs. They don't hate everybody,
No,
but
I
they've been
don't
around a
really
long
hate.
time, haven't they?
They've seen a lot. They've seen a
But
lot.
that was definitely a one. It's like
So I think the
trying
Asian
something
Swansea,
and he just turn up and then do it in your face. No, we're watching you try it and then just do it.
he must have skated more for a few times because it's his sort of round. He used to skate Hastings, which was another red round. He used to skate that a lot.
So, yeah, very funny. I don't really know him, so
No, I don't.
I only know the name from that. Are we wrapping this up with
Yeah, I think so.
Skate Everyday chat? Is there anything else we need to wrap up with that?
No, it's going to be plenty to.
We've had the
to
award
edit.
ceremony.
So if anybody is in, I don't know why I'm saying that. This isn't going to be held by tomorrow.
What do you mean? You've got hours to edit this.
This will be out of the weekend. But yeah, the video going online.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so Martin's edited an entire year's worth of footage.
That's actually something I'm not missing is having to
Oh my
edit all
God.
of the
We haven't
videos.
even discussed that.
Yeah.
So Sydney is something that we discussed because Martin was in charge of most of the editing.
How did you choose? Let's have 5 minutes on this. How did you choose what stays and what goes?
Well, yeah, it was quite tricky. I just kind of went through everything because I had to delete stuff. It was all on my phone, so I deleted stuff off as I went. So it wasn't really tons of stuff to go through. It was just like each day that really stood out on my phone that had the decent edit. I was like, right, that one's got some good stuff in it, chuck that in there. And I started just gradually putting them in sections, and then I was like, right, it sort of seems like there's a bit of a coherence here. And then, yeah, just put music bits together, and it seems to kind of come together gradually, organically. But there was quite a lot of late nights, blurry-eyed, looking at stuff like, oh my god, there's way too much to get through there. But
How long is it?
about 18 minutes long.
Oh, that's decent. I mean, that's a year's worth of footage.
Yeah.
And, but that's going to be a cool thing.
Mediocre skateboarding though.
Yeah, but still, but that's. Let's be honest. Would you rather watch like a bunch of people skating and really enjoying themselves, or a couple of people doing massive tricks? That's okay to go, oh my god, banger. But you're kind of like, yeah, but I kind of want to skate with those.
It's a very different thing though, isn't it? Video edits these days are cut into 30-second max. That's probably the longest ones these days, isn't it? 30 seconds online.
Yeah,
this is something different, and this is of our era where you do a 20-minute video. It doesn't really happen anymore.
But even then, a 20-minute video was still a short video.
Yeah.
So you look at Questionable and the Power videos and all those were 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Even
Sometimes an
I've seen
hour.
videos, the woody jumper one.
It's about 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Yeah.
And that's not even including end credit stuff. It's an hour, just the sections of putting people's edits, and it's probably over 3 years or something of footage. You want to get everybody in who's been out skating with you, you squeeze it all in, but that's what videos were.
But that's the bonkers thing now. I was thinking about this, where a new video comes out and the video's just free straight away.
Yeah.
It's just online straight away. Because they're not making any money from the video. They're making the money
You
from
just sum the industry up in 3 seconds there.
Yeah.
There's no money in it.
Yeah. Compared to what it was, which is insane.
It's just weird, isn't it, the way it's gone?
I remember Kevin when he got back from America, and it was at the era when shoe sponsorships. If you're on a shoe sponsorship, you're a millionaire basically. And he was saying there were skaters who were sponsored by Skechers, who were potentially millionaires from skating. And you're like, Skechers? What do you know Skechers? But they were sponsored by him, and they were just money was thrown at them.
Yeah.
Absolutely thrown at them. And I couldn't even tell you when that stopped. Because would you say there are more or less individual shoe models now compared to
Yeah.
There is.
90s? More or
shoe
less
companies?
same?
Yeah.
They've all gone.
That's true.
There's no independent skateboard shoe company anymore.
Not since S and Etnies and Mackay. I never
They're still clinging on, but they will all go fairly soon. You're down to the
Let's not end on a
big ones.
downer.
You brought up industry. I told you not to bring it up.
Right, we're editing
What
that.
were we going out on?
The film itself, yeah, because the premiere tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think, like, scene videos, I'd like to see them make a little bit of a resurgence rather
They
than
won't though.
clips.
When if I have my day.
But we won't.
We're trying.
We just
The kids
I'm
coming
going to
through.
record people. That's the thing. I want to capture what's going on.
Yeah, we
Like,
consume.
try and film people and get out there and be more proactive at filming everyone's stuff.
Well, there was that.
My little
But
personal
I mean, the kids coming behind you
Yeah.
don't do that, and they don't want to
No.
watch those videos. They want.
It's not their fault. It's just the way everything's shared now. Like you said, it's 30 seconds. Someone has difficulty sitting there for 30 minutes to watch one video for 30 minutes.
You watch now. Watching the video tomorrow. The kids will not watch that whole 20-minute video.
Yeah.
They will go, "Oh, cool. I'm going skating."
Yeah.
Even at that age, I would have sat through and watched it because the attention span is different.
I think the difference is we
I wasn't
use
so overwhelmed. Like, I was older, 16 though.
Yeah.
You know.
but we use words like kerfuffle. They don't use words like that. That's the difference.
What I'm saying is, it's because of the oversaturation of skateboarding videos.
Yeah.
That it's not such a big thing for them to see it. Whereas that's the only place you could see skateboarding.
There's no build up to it. Like when a new video was
Like
coming out, the
magazines.
excitement of the video coming out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see it until the video came
No.
out. And this isn't complaining like, oh, it was better in my day. It's just completely different. the consuming of it is completely different.
You'd watch a VHS video that came out, probably one a year, maybe two.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
And you'd watch that over and over. But when you went out of the house, you'd talk about it maybe to people, but you wouldn't be able to watch anything or see anything. Like the tech has just kind of made it, you can just watch Sleep all night.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I feel like is that Swansea's lacking in sort of exposure, because I've been spending a lot of time looking through YouTube to see if there's any Swansea Welsh skating, and it's always Cardiff, Newport, Bridgend, etc. There's the odd little bit of nugget here and there from like maybe 10, 15 years ago, but there's not a lot of Swansea skating on YouTube at all. And I just feel like it'd be quite nice to document more of what's going on around here.
Yeah, well, that's the difference with if Tomsk hadn't documented a lot of the stuff from his era and stuff. It wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
no one would see it.
Castle was probably the last thing, and that was 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it just feels a bit of a shame that there's some really good skaters in Swansea and they're just not being documented properly. And I know that everything is this kind of like throwaway culture at the moment, but I don't feel like that has to be the case for everything. It's like, films are getting rarer and rarer. There's less things that are kind of people spend a lot of time making art, and I just think that why can't you push against that and think let's do something that's actually genuine that you want to do, and if people like it, they do. If they don't, that's what artists do stuff for themselves, really.
Yeah.
And if other people like it, then that's the best thing. So
and it just
The following more the order was like
hard.
hard.
I don't remember that.
Just over my lip.
Yeah, and everyone went quiet for a second because I thought he's out. And it was only because of the
me? Definitely me.
Both of it was the end of the sort of thing.
Was it?
It was the film and everyone was going to cheer you doing it, and I was kind of thinking we really shouldn't do this because you're both hammered, and that rail is hard enough. That rail is hard enough, like when you're sober. But I think you both did it, but it ended quite badly. I can't remember if there's footage of it anyway.
It must be. Well, no, they can't be because I can't remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't remember it at all, actually.
You? Yeah, I remember. Do you remember it? Yeah, I didn't do the rail.
I had a good memory. My memory's terrible. That's why I have mine ran so brilliant this year, because I would have forgotten that we were even doing it. Probably.
Well done.
Yeah, cheers.
Good job.
What a bender.
Excellent work.
done.
Pat on the back.
It's good to have a record on it, the Mark's bid. It's a good
But
video.
you just hope that even like you said, the kids aren't going to watch that. They might not watch the whole video, but if they keep skating and they get older, they're probably going to remember the fact that you guys did a year of skating. And they might, the older they get, they might start going, that's quite hard, guys.
We did a few challenges in that though as well.
Yeah,
not
well,
just
you had the
holiday
24-hour thing.
That's the one I wanted to get off my back as well. The 24-hour session.
That's hard.
A different reason for being hard, but
just being awake for 24 hours on purpose.
Yeah.
For no real reason other than you've just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because I said to you a couple of times I've done something like a charity 24-hour thing, and it's not fun. You get to, 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, and it's not fun.
2 o'clock probably the first low came in, and you're down to like 4 of you. And
It's quiet.
The guys who
just
came through the night, and a couple of them came in those hours. Yeah, it was a tough.
Lifts it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just in
but
your
it
face.
needed it. But even that lift only lasts for about 20 minutes, and then they crash in with you then as well. So.
Well, it was a year, not just of skating. I mean, the trip up to the jog with skiing Pritchard.
Another challenge. I forgot about that as well.
I think we could probably do a podcast on its own about that. Just with Skin in a van for 6 days.
Sleeping rough.
Sleeping rough.
What were you thinking?
Sleeping in Aldi, sleeping in police stations, sleeping in...
Fritz that was. They said, do we need to, are we hotels or anything? He's like, just rock and roll it, should we?
Don't listen to him.
And I joined in. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'll drive. Yeah, let's just sleep out. Not thinking like Scotland, freezing up there.
Chilly up there. It's all uphill as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I knew there was another challenge that I couldn't remember what.
But if I'd done something like that, it would have taken me a week to get over that.
Mm.
And there's no way I'd getting back from that. Because how long did it take you to drive back from Scotland? You did it in one go. Didn't you?
One day, yeah.
Was it 10 hours?
I can't remember. I slept in the back for a couple of hours while Chris drove, and then I took over because he's mental at driving. And I think he just wanted to get home, and I could hear the van. I was like, I don't think he's ever been this fast before. I was sleeping in the back of it, thinking, I don't drive it like this. I'm a bit worried, but it's life.
Because there was also that time you had to pick your dad up, wasn't there? Like from the airport, and you had to do stop off at the petrol station at 11 to do a skate because you
Forgot about that.
and then you got back at 5:30 in the morning, and then had to work at 6. And
Too many of those you don't want to remember.
I've forgotten about that one as well, actually. Yeah.
So there's all of these little things.
But that's what I mean about life. Like
Traverse.
life throwing these little curveballs in constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to do it? How about doing this first? You're like, oh.
That was mental. Do you know though? Thinking back, I think the hardest one was the holidays. The holiday ones. Like I say, me and Martin went on almost
you're
the
not
same
switching off.
holiday.
Yeah, because you're not switching off.
You went to Corfu,
Yeah.
and I was like, I just had to book this, and it wasn't I didn't mean to book it. I had to go. It was like a family, one of these family things where they were spreading ashes. Someone who lived out there was like, we're going. I'm like, okay, right. So you'd done a recce almost, didn't it? And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, is
Dust.
there? We're going to be skating in dusky
track.
track.
First thing
You
you
went
did.
to Spain, there's
First
stuff
thing you
in
did when you
Spain.
get there is post the photo. Oh, that's a nice looking park. I bet you like you.
Yeah.
I was in a desert.
They did 2 holidays, but one I knew I was going on, and the other one just came up randomly. But the Tunisia one was exactly the same. That's another one. It's like it's not cut out for skateboarding.
Yeah.
Luckily, they just built a park in that city is Sousse, and it's the second skate park in the whole of Tunisia. There's one in the capital and
Just
one
so there's not
in that
one
city.
in the hotel.
It's like a half-hour skate from the hotel to get there. And it's the same. It was hot, like
It is.
9 o'clock. You're sweating buckets if you're going out. So it had to be. I'm on a holiday. I've got to get up at 6 in the morning
It's
to go
hard
to
skating when it's
skate
really
to
hot,
this
isn't
place.
Really,
When it's really hot, you get tired.
We're
so
just not
quick.
used to it.
Yeah.
You know, even in the summer here,
Yeah.
you can find, you know where the spots are, and you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think, oh, I've got an hour. I skate for an hour before I'm so tired. I just feel like I want to melt.
Yeah.
When you go in somewhere that's 40 degrees.
And getting up early, I was finding 6 o'clock, everything was quite shut, and you're skating by people's houses, and you know that
You're aware of everything.
I'm sorry.
I can't do it. I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this. I can't explain it in Greek. I don't know. Skating every
I
day.
can imagine on day 2 or 3 you could be going past and they'd be out the window going, go on Martin! Go on Martin! Every day! There was an accident.
Pretty close. Standard European accent. So we managed to get through a whole year, January to January.
266.
It was great.
Yeah,
Good
and
times.
I'm just baffled how you were able to do it. I mean, tip of the hat, but the amount of times, the few times I came out and on a couple of occasions it was like, oh, there's shit outside.
Mm.
The weather's terrible. We're going to this spot that's rubbish. But it was only rubbish because I was anticipating it being rubbish. But when we went on the last one, when we went to the tunnel, part of me was like, oh, okay, it's a bit dark, it's a bit rubbish, but it's actually really fun. It's if you go out with the expectations of just like what's going to happen, and I suppose you were able to hold on to that throughout the year with ups and downs.
Yeah.
But well done.
Thanks.
You all survived.
Yeah.
We all survived.
I think I'll do it again, maybe.
Thanks. 2 years next.